Today's meditation explores the first personal observance known as Saucha, the practice of cleanliness and purity within our environment, our thoughts, actions, and inner world. Saucha invites us to gently clear and purify the body, mind, emotions, and space around us to cultivate clarity, balance, and well-being. Perhaps your space feels cluttered and heavy. Maybe your body is asking for more care, nourishment, or rest. Perhaps your mind has become crowded with unhelpful thoughts, worries, or emotional tension. Or maybe there is simply something within your inner or outer world asking to be gently cleared. In this meditation, we'll turn inward, slow down, and create space to notice what may be asking for attention through the practice. Find a comfortable seated position when you're ready. Lengthen your spine and softly close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a long breath out. Deep breath in, long breath out. As we take a moment to arrive in the present, draw your awareness to the tip of your nose and observe each breath in and out. Maybe noticing the air as it enters the nostrils and leaves the nostrils. In and out. Saucha asks us, what needs to be cleared? What is taking up more space than it deserves? What thought pattern has outlived its usefulness? What habit no longer supports you? What relationship, tension, or story feels heavy to carry? Simply notice what arises. As we sit here in this present moment with our breath, turning inwards, notice what arises and what comes up as we explore purity and cleanliness. Here is the first truth. Cleanliness creates clarity. When we clear physical clutter, the mind has more room to breathe. When we clear mental clutter, the heart has more space to feel. When we clear emotional heaviness, we create room for growth, peace, and presence. Saucha is not about perfection. It is about creating space for what truly matters. With each in-breath, repeat to yourself, I create space. As you breathe out, I invite clarity. Breathe in, I create space. Breathe out, I invite clarity. The second truth. Clutter is not always visible. Sometimes it lives within unfinished thoughts, unspoken words, avoided emotions, or decisions we keep postponing. These things quietly linger in the background, taking up space within the mind and the body. Notice where you may be holding on to heaviness. Breathing in, clear space. Breathing out, release what no longer serves you. Here is the third truth. You do not have to keep everything. Not every thought needs to be delivered. Not every emotion needs to be carried. Not every habit needs to stay simply because it feels familiar. You are allowed to let go of what no longer is needed in your life, even if it once was, even if it feels uncomfortable to release it. Holding on to something from the past, it is clutter keeping you from moving forward. As you breathe in, honor what is. As you breathe out, create space for what's next. Breathing in and honoring what is. Breathing out, creating space for what's next. Bring to mind one thing that feels like clutter in your life right now. Perhaps it is something physical, a crowded room, a messy drawer, an overflowing schedule. Perhaps it's emotional. Judgment, anger, resentment, worry. Or perhaps it is something more internal. A fear, a belief, or a story you continue to carry and tell yourself. Simply notice it without judgment, without needing to fix it right now. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to gently clear the space? You do not need to solve everything today. You only need awareness. Awareness is where clearing begins. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring that awareness back to the nostrils, observing the air entering and exiting your body. And take one last moment to recall what came up for you during this practice. And if there was anything that arose that requires clearing in your life, take a mental note of it so that as you leave this practice, you can consciously use that information to make changes in your life. Start bringing movement back into the body, wiggling the toes and fingers, and maybe even stretching out. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Clarity begins with recognizing what no longer belongs within you and then gently creating space for what does. Start softly and start with whatever arose for you here today.